Good afternoon, everyone. As you know, last night I wasn't here because I went to the Direi Torah Kinus. I took notes. I looked around on the dais. I didn't see anybody else taking notes, but I was taking notes, and I hope to share with the Olam. But I'll tell you one thing quick, that it made a tremendous impression upon me that Rav Bergman, who is 90, he's in that area, traveled in from Eretz Yisrael, and he traveled in from Eretz Yisrael while he was doing Shiva. He had lost a son, a 70-year-old son. And he was in middle of Shiva. And he came in and he said that the Gedolim of Eretz Yisrael said, Rabim tzrichim lei, that the public needs him. So at the age of 90, he traveled to a full stadium of people b'seich Shiva. And to me, that was a message of what our Gedolim are. Rav Bergman is the son-in-law of Rav Shach. His parting message was, he spoke mostly about Torah, but his parting message is that he's aware that there's problems with shidduchim, that girls can't find shidduchim in America. And he said he wants to say over from his holy father-in-law, Rav Shach, that Rav Shach would tell young ladies to make sure to bench from a siddur. And he said, it's so important that my message should get out that he says, I don't speak English, but I'm going to say it in English. And he had on a paper phonetically, and he said it in English. He says, I want everybody to know how important it is for the young ladies to bench from a siddur. That's what he said. But you saw his caring. Just that alone, for that alone it was worth to go. For that alone. A man that's 90, travel thousands of miles in the air, mourning for the loss of a son, because he felt the public needed him. Anyway, we are in the third parak of Masechtas Yoma. We are holding by Mishna Tes and Yud as we learn the Ilui Nishmas Levi Yitzchik ben Meir Yaakov Moshe ben Zev L'Refuah Shalom for Yomi Moshe Mechayesar by Yod Klugman and family, by the Fisher family, Ilui Nishmas Basi Bas Rabbi Shlomo ben Avram Alevi and Perel Bas Ruvain. So the Mishnah tells us the Kohen Gadol, who is now wearing his big day loven, he already went to his to the par Kohen Gadol, to the bull. Now remember, there's the two twin goats, where they have to do the lottery, where one is for Hashem and one is for Azazel. So Baloi the Mizrach Azara, he goes to the eastern part of the Azara, Litzvayna Mizbech, to the north of the Mizbech. Haskan Miyamino, the deputy Kohen Gadol, is to his right. V'roish base of, if you remember, there's 24 mishmaros, and each mishmar is further subdivided into every day of the week. There's a base of. The head of the base of the day of Yom Kippur stands Mismailai to his left. V'sham shnei seirim, there are the two goats, the twin goats. V'kalpi hoisasham, there was a box. Ovoshnei goyralos, and in it had two lotteries, one LaHashem and one LaAzazel. Shel eshkeroyahoy, it was expensive wood, boxwood. V'asun ben Gamla shel zav. However, Ben Gamla upgraded it to gold. the 2 lotteries to gold, and they praised him for that upgrade. Now, once we talk about praising people that made an upgrade, so Mishnah Yud discusses other upgrades. Ben Cotton also shneim also dad lakir. He made 12 faucets for the kir, so that the 12 kohanim that are in the process of the tamid could do the kiddush yadayim raglayim all at one time. Now, actually, there's 13 kohanim, but the Mefarshim say over here that the kohen that did the shchita, since the shchita is not an avodah, because it could be done by a zar, so that doesn't need kiddush yadayim raglayim. So therefore, it's only 12. Beforehand, it only had 2 faucets. This was a very clever contraption. He made a wheel to lower the kir. You see, the kir is a clay sharis. It's a ministering vessel. Anything that's in a ministering vessel, if left overnight, becomes pasul belina. It becomes disqualified. So therefore, he, in order that all the water in the kir shouldn't have to be spilled out and ruined, he made a wheel to lower that down, the kir, all the way down to the water table below, so that it should be attached to the mechubal karka, and then it doesn't become pasul belina. He made a wheel for the kir so its water shouldn't become disqualified by being left overnight. Munbaz HaMelech, who's famous for his acts of charity, Munbaz HaMelech, he made all the handles of the vessels of Yom Kippur of gold. The first scroll says there's certain utensils that can't be gold, like a knife, because if it's gold, it won't cut enough. So Munbaz said, okay, the knife can't be gold, but the handle can be gold. So he made all the handles gold. Hilne Imai, Hilne, his mother, she made a fascinating thing. She made a candelabra to be positioned in front of the Kodesh in such a way that the beginning sun shined on the candelabra and sent out sparks, so they would know when the Zman Kriyashma was. So Hilne Imai Asa Nivreshe Shel Zav, she made a candelabra of gold al Pischai Shel Heichel to set up by the door of the Heichel. V'afi Asa Tabla Shel Zav. They used to, when they would write the formula of Saita, like we just learned in Masech the Saita, when they write the formula of Saita, they would bring a Sefer Torah to copy it from the Sefer Torah. In order that they shouldn't have to bring a copy of a Sefer Torah, she made a tablet of gold and wrote the formula of the Saita on the tablet of gold. V'afi asa tablet shel zav, a tablet of gold, sheparasha Saita ksuva aleha, that the parashas Saita was written on it, so that it shouldn't have to be, the Sefer Torah shouldn't have to be brought in. Nicanor nasu nisam l'dal saisav. Nicanor, great miracles happened with his doors. The eastern gates, Nicanor went to Alexandria of Mitzrayim to fashion phenomenal gates. On the way back, the boat was met with a storm, and they had to throw over one door in order that the boat shouldn't sink. When the storm continued, they wanted to throw the other one over. Nicanor lashed himself to the door, and he said, if you're throwing it over, throw me over with it. And after he did that, the storm stopped. When they came to the port in Eretz Yisrael, the other door floated from underneath the boat, miraculously came with the boat. So Nikanor Nasa Nisim L'dal Saisa, V'ayu Maskirin Oisei L'Shavach, and the Meiri says that they mention all the people, even though it says Oisei in the singular, which would make it seem that it's only going on Nikanor. It says they mention everybody in this Mishnah, Munabaz and Hilni and Ben Cotton. They mentioned all these people, L'Shavach, everybody mentioned for the advancements and the beautification that they did in the Beis Hamikdash. As you've seen, if I'm recording it, it means that we have something special tonight, which we do. After the daf from Yitz Hashem, we're going to have a chok this evening, so everyone is invited to join us. Reb Chananya ben Akasha